5 Silent Habits Shortening Your Life After 70. Urgent Senior Health Warning. Hello to all the aunts, uncles, and elders. I am Dr. David. I am very happy to see everyone again in this health-sharing space dedicated specifically to those entering the golden age, the age of 70. Have you ever sat back and wondered, why is it that at the age of 70, some people are still flexible enough to pack a backpack and travel, or remain sharp enough to play chess with their grandchildren, while others begin to decline rapidly, their bodies becoming frail and their minds gloomy? Is it all due to fate or genetics? The truth that I have witnessed after many years as a geriatrician is this: the greatest enemy after 70 is not sudden incurable diseases, but rather harmless, daily habits. They are quietly and silently shortening our lifespan hour by hour. Today, we will identify the silent killers in our lifestyle habits. But before we begin, if you want to join me in building a healthy, long-lived, and meaningful community, please click the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your companionship is the greatest motivation for Dr. David to continue this mission. Habit number 1. The rest trap. Sitting too much. Many seniors often tell me, "Doctor, I have worked hard my whole life. Now that I am 70, isn't it time to enjoy myself and sit back and rest?" True, rest is a right, but if you rest the wrong way, it becomes a deadly trap. Medically, after age 70, our bodies enter a stage of intensive aging. One syndrome I always warn patients about is sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass and quality. Imagine your muscles as power plants. When you sit still in one place for too long, these plants shut down. This muscle loss process occurs 3 times faster than in those who remain active. When sitting for a long time, circulation becomes poor, especially in the lower limbs. This leads to the risk of blood clots, which creates back pressure on the heart, leading to heart failure or metabolic problems. More dangerously, the legs, which are the pillars of independence, will weaken significantly. Once the legs are weak, the risk of falls increases. As you know, at age 70, a fall is not just a bruise. It can be the beginning of complete dependence on children and grandchildren. I have a patient named Richard, 75 years old. After retiring, he bought himself an extremely comfortable armchair. He spent most of his day sitting, watching TV, and reading the newspaper because he thought he deserved to rest. After 2 years, Richard came to see me because he could no longer climb the stairs to the first floor. There was no single major event. It was just the quiet accumulation of hours spent sitting still. He accidentally deprived himself of his mobility just for temporary comfort. Rest is a right, but movement is insurance. Do not wait until your legs are weak to practice walking. Set an alarm every 45 minutes, stand up and stretch, get a glass of water, or walk around the living room. Remember, as long as there is movement, there is life. Habit number 2, eating out of habit instead of actual need. This second habit is extremely common in families. It is the fact that we eat because it is time to eat, or because we fear wasting food, not because the body is actually hungry. Many seniors still maintain the eating habits from the time they were working hard. But at age 70, your digestive system has changed. Your metabolism slows down significantly. The body no longer needs as much energy as before. When you eat more than your needs, the excess calories are not converted into energy but accumulate as visceral fat. This type of fat is extremely dangerous. It wraps around the heart and liver and puts pressure on knee joints that are already degenerating. Eating too much starch or sugar out of habit also causes the pancreas to overwork, leading to type 2 diabetes, a disease that erodes the health of the elderly very quickly. Dorothy, 73 years old, is a woman who loves her family very much. Even though her children had moved out, she kept the habit of cooking hearty meals as she did when the whole family was together. Because she valued her cooking effort and did not want to waste food, she often tried to eat all the leftovers. As a result, her weight skyrocketed, her blood sugar reached alarming levels, and her legs were so painful she could not walk. Dorothy did not eat because she was hungry. She ate because of a caregiving habit that was outdated for her current physical condition. Learn to eat mindfully. Before every meal, ask yourself, is my stomach truly hungry, Or am I eating just because the clock just hit 12? After 70, quality is more important than quantity. A small meal, rich in protein, plenty of green vegetables, and good fats, is more valuable than a grand feast with excess energy. Eat to live, to nourish the body, not to fill the time or relieve sadness. Habit number 3, subjectivity. Feeling healthy is a trap. Many patients come to my clinic with pride. Look, doctor, I am 77 years old and I never have to take a single pill, nor do I need an exam because I feel perfectly fine. I always have to use the utmost patience of a doctor to explain that, after age 70, your feelings can sometimes be a liar. Our bodies, after decades of operation, have accumulated a lot of wear and tear inside. Many dangerous diseases do not knock on the door or warn you with severe pain. Do you know why high blood pressure is called the silent killer? Because it can silently destroy blood vessels for many years without causing any symptoms until a stroke occurs. Similarly, early-stage diabetes or certain types of cancer in the elderly often progress very slowly and discreetly. By the time you feel something is wrong, the disease is often at a stage requiring complex intervention. Look at the case of George, a 77-year-old man who was extremely resilient. He always refused to go for checkups because he thought he was as vigorous as in his youth. It was only when his daughter was determined, even forcing him to see me for a general checkup, that we discovered his blood pressure was at a red alert level. He had absolutely no symptoms of headache or dizziness. Timely intervention with medication and lifestyle changes saved George from a stroke that almost happened that very night. Periodic health checkups are not the actions of the weak or the fearful. They are the actions of a wise person who knows how to master their own life. Do not wait until you have a disease to seek help. Proactively grasp your blood pressure, blood sugar, and blood lipid numbers at least once every 6 months. Habit number 4, underestimating stress, the poison for the nervous system. Many young people think, when you are old, you don't have to worry about money, and you don't have to endure pressure from a boss, so how can there be stress? This is a fatal mistake. Stress after age 70 is no longer about work deadlines. It transforms into simmering worries. Worrying about the children's future, worrying about medical bills, the fear of becoming a burden, or the sadness of watching friends of the same age pass away one by one. These pains are not loud, but they gnaw at your soul every night. When you experience prolonged anxiety, the body releases the hormone cortisol. At age 70, the recovery capacity of the endocrine system is much weaker. Chronically high cortisol causes systemic inflammation, weakens the immune system, and especially attacks the memory area of the brain, leading to cognitive decline. You will find yourself forgetting things more easily, having difficulty concentrating, and becoming tired for no reason. Helen, 78 years old, always appeared calm. But inside, she carried a constant worry about her daughter's divorce. She suffered from persistent insomnia, frequent headaches, and constant fatigue. When she accepted the need to share her feelings and joined a psychological support group for the elderly, her physical symptoms disappeared miraculously. It was not because her daughter's problem was solved, but because Helen learned how to release the psychological burden from her shoulders. Protecting the peace of the mind is the most important longevity strategy. Learn to identify stress. When you feel your heart is heavy, find someone to share with, go for a walk, or learn meditation. Do not try to force yourself to be resilient, because mental illness is the root of physical illness. Habit number 5, social withdrawal. Loneliness is a death sentence. This is the habit I worry about most for seniors today. After retirement, social relationships often shrink. Many people choose to live a closed life, with little communication because they find it troublesome or feel they are no longer trendy. Reputable scientific studies have proven loneliness and social isolation in the elderly have a health impact equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases the risk of cardiovascular disease, depression, and especially accelerates the aging of the brain. When you talk, laugh, or have a light debate with friends, the brain must work continuously to process information. This is the best exercise to prevent Alzheimer's disease. Laughter helps release endorphins, a natural painkiller for joints, and helps the cardiovascular system function more smoothly. Harold, 81 years old, once fell into the deep pit of loneliness after his wife passed away. He did not want to go anywhere or talk to anyone. His health declined rapidly. He became emaciated and the spirit in his eyes faded. But since he listened to a neighbor and joined a neighborhood walking club, everything changed. The idle talk along the way and the afternoon tea sessions with old friends revived Harold. He ate better, slept deeper, and most importantly, he felt he still had value. Do not wait for others to call your name. Be the one to proactively pick up the phone to call an old friend, proactively participate in a life-nourishing class, or simply go to the park to talk with people of your age. Social connection is not a leisure activity, it is an act of survival. My dear aunts, uncles, and elders, the 5 habits we have gone through, sitting too much, eating out of habit, ignoring health checkups, underestimating stress, and self-isolation, they are silent but powerful links that determine our lifespan. Longevity does not come from any magic pill. It comes from the alertness in each daily choice. Age 70 is not the starting point of the end, but a stage for us to enjoy the fruits of life with wisdom and proper self-care. In these 5 habits, which one do you find the most difficult to change? Or what good habits are you applying to maintain your health? Please leave a comment right below. I will directly read and respond so we can learn from each other. If you find this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and especially share it with your circle of friends and siblings. Your act of sharing could help someone who is in the danger zone of these habits. Thank you for listening. I wish you always have a peaceful mind and a strong body. I am Dr. David, and I look forward to seeing you in the next health sharing videos.